Hey, happy Friday, everyone. So, I am doing a short intro. We've got another terrific Zoom interview for you guys. This is Darren Smith over in Kentucky, and Vicki and I just had a blast getting to know him and kind of a little bit about his story, his life, how he got into the carved signs, what his kind of niche is. And Darren is just a terrific guy, fantastic sign carver. You're going to see that sign behind him. You're going to see it up close toward the end of the video. And Darren is just a really, really great sign carver. We had so much fun just hanging out with him and getting to know him a little bit better. I know you guys are going to dig it. So without further ado, here's Darren Smith over in Kentucky. Enjoy, guys. We'll see you soon.
Can you hear me?
Hi. There we go. We can hear you now.
Still learning the whole Zoom thing. I didn't have the audio on.
That's all right. I'm trying to adjust the camera. It's just not working right.
How are you?
Doing great. How are you all doing?
Oh, you're right out there in the middle of the cornfield.
I like it.
Right. My backyard.
Oh, that's awesome.
Field of Dreams right there.
There you go. There you go.
I landed in the middle of the cornfield in Dothan, Alabama one time. Looked pretty much like.
Oh, wow.
So where are you at, Darren?
I'm in South Central Kentucky.
Kentucky. Okay.
Southern boy.
So is
Yep.
there a lot of corn in Kentucky?
There is. The corn has kind of replaced the tobacco industry here. Corn and soybeans.
Oops, sorry.
A lot of soybeans?
Yeah, a lot of soybeans, a lot of corn. The cornfield next to me here, and then across the road, we've got a field of soybeans.
Gotcha.
I just like listening to you talk.
Well, thank you.
So now are those your crops? Is that your field?
No, the house and land that we bought was the parents of 3 boys, and we bought the parents' home place, and the surrounding fields are still owned by the boys.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, that's cool.
Yeah, we've got about 2 acres here.
All right. That's great. So you're from that area, I take it?
I am born and raised in Kentucky.
Hold on. I'm sorry.
You're fine.
Making me crazy. Trying to show this cord. Yeah. There we go. You can cut that out.
Are you set now? Good. Good. All right. Now we're set. So, nice looking sign you got behind there.
Yeah.
It's one that I made for myself when we go do like little craft fairs and set up at rabbit shows and stuff.
Now, is your wife work with you? Are you married?
I am married. We're both RNs.
Okay.
She is currently at work now.
Oh.
She works at the local hospital, and I'm the medical administrator for our county jail.
Gotcha.
I saw that in your email, your tag on your email, yeah.
The signature,
Yeah.
sign. Okay, gotcha. Okay. So you're the administrator. So you've been an RN a long time then.
I have. I've been an RN since 2004, and I was an LPN for 8.5 years prior to that.
Wow. Wow. So so you've been in the medical field since you got out of high school, or
Well, basically, during high school, I started out junior firefighter, was an EMT at age 19, and it just kind of progressed from there.
Wow, that's terrific. That's great. So we're getting kind of the horse before the cart. So, for the audience, go ahead and introduce yourself and kind of talk a little bit about what you do, or shoot, you can talk about whatever you want to. I don't care.
Okay, my name's Darren Smith. I'm running Rustic Rabbit Custom Signs. Kind of combined 2 interests to come up with that name. Stepdaughter got me into showing rabbits. She started off in 4-H, and we went to a couple shows with her and kind of got bit by the bug, I guess you should say. and we've been showing rabbits for about the last 5 or 6 years. So I wanted something to kind of correlate with that, because that's kind of a niche I found with doing the signs as well. So that's how I come up with the rustic rabbit custom signs.
I think
Like
we've
I was telling,
I think we've talked about that before, you and I, or I've seen, I knew that there was one of my guys that was really into showing the rabbits, and I'm thinking
right,
that yeah, we've talked about that before, right?
we have over the phone. I called you. It's probably been close to a year ago, and was asking you some questions, and we got to talking, and
Yeah.
just kind of it turned into a get to know you phone call, and I guess we talked for probably close to 45 minutes to an hour that night. Really enjoyed it.
All right.
That's about the average of my phone calls. I just don't get enough. Yeah. So is that so that's something that you and your daughter are do you still do that?
We do, of course. Since the COVID hit, it's canceled. We haven't had any shows this year yet. We're going to one in Tennessee next month, going to Knoxville next month for one. So we were planning on going to the National Arbor Convention in Hershey, Pennsylvania next month. That got canceled. So
Yeah.
it's kind of slowed us way down.
Yeah. So you, I know you said you mentioned that you do like craft shows and that kind of thing. How does that come about? Is that just real local to you, or how does that whole thing work out?
It's most of them have been real local. We've only done 2 or 3 so far. Last year we did a Christmas bazaar at a little church, and this spring we did a first annual kind of craft fair at another local church. And then, like I said, we set up as vendors at the rabbit shows as well. My wife does like jewelry and clothing that pertains to rabbit, things like that. So
So how does that coincide, I guess, with the sign carving? When you said you set up at the shows, do people
right.
like names for their rabbits, or like kind of like horse show?
Well, a lot of people name their rabbitries. Like ours is S&W Rabbitry. So I've done signs with people's rabbitry names on them, and I've carved like the different breeds of rabbits that they raise. I'm doing breed signs. They're 6.5 by 18 with the breed of the rabbit and what the name is next to it. I've done some show tables with breed signs that hang off of the show tables.
Fascinating. Well, that's cool. That does sound like a kind of a unique little niche.
It is. It is. And I've got a photo album of the different signs that I've done. So I get exposure for the different other types of things that I do, and I've gotten some orders off of that as well.
Yeah. Yeah. So how long have you been carving signs then?
It will be 2 years in December.
Okay.
And how did you get into sign, the actual sign carving?
Well, I've always kind of dabbled in woodworking a little bit since childhood. One of my grandfathers was an excellent woodworker. He did a lot of furniture and stuff, and my dad did some woodworking. So I kind of picked it up a little, just kind of dabbled with it off and on throughout the years. And I was doing like small end tables and bookcases. And in this area, you kind of just break even with those sort of things. So I wanted to, I really enjoy it. It's my stress relief. So I wanted to find something I could make a little bit of extra money while enjoying it at the same time. So I did some YouTube searching, and lo and behold, who did I run across? Got bit by that bug, and it's kind of snowballed from there too.
Wow. That's it still amazes me how people kind of just find us. We never really done any advertising. We've just been there for so long, and we're still not that big, but we've been there for so long that people seem to somehow find us. So that's cool. That's really neat. And so your wife does jewelry and like clothing and other related kinds of things that you go to the rabbit shows, or do you guys sell like through consignment stores or anything like that?
Mainly just like the few craft shows we go to, rabbit shows. She's got a cricket machine, so she's been dabbling in making like different things, on like little cups and things like that as well to sell.
Uh-huh.
And my stepdaughter, she's gotten into crocheting, so she's been crocheting things and selling those along with us. It's kind of turned into a little family event.
Very
That's good.
cool.
That's
Yeah.
good. Now, do you just have the one daughter? One?
Now I've got a 10 and 11-year-old, 10-year-old daughter, 11-year-old son, 10-year-old daughter of my own, the 17-year-old twins, stepdaughter and stepson, and I've got a 27-year-old stepdaughter who's a physician's assistant in Pikeville, Kentucky, which is about 3.5 hours from here.
Wow.
You got your hands full.
I do, and love every minute of it.
Yeah.
A lot of help around the 2 acres there.
Right, and we do a lot of camping. We've got a travel trailer, and we do a lot of camping, so.
You got a lot of green out there.
We do. Yeah, we get a lot of beautiful sunrises and sunsets here.
Yeah.
Gorgeous ones. Of course, we're out in the country, and so.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I could ever live in the city again. No.
No, no, I like my country life.
We like our desert life.
Well, it's
Right.
different part of the
we're country desert.
Yeah, yeah. So have you got plans then to go to different shows come Christmas time this year? Is there anything open?
Haven't run across anything yet, but we're hoping, again, the COVID will kind of loosen up a little bit and let some more things happen as the fall and winter, comes along.
Yeah. Where's the biggest city near you?
Lexington.
Lexington. Okay. And how far is it?
It's about an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes north of us, and then Louisville is about 2.5 hours kind of northwest of us.
Gotcha. Okay. And how old are you now, if you don't mind?
I'm 47.
47. Okay. And you and your wife, how long have you guys been married?
We'll be married 4 years in February.
Excellent.
Newlyweds.
Newlyweds.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Cool. And you guys have you known each other for a long time? You're both in the medical.
We have. Back when I worked at the hospital in 2000 through 2004, we worked together. She actually helped train me when we worked there, and we were both married, to someone else at the time, and we both smoked at the time, so we were kind of smoking buddies and just friends.
Yeah.
And I left the hospital in 2004, and of course we lost contact. And about 8 years ago, I was recently divorced, and we just ran across each other on Facebook, and rekindled the friendship, and it just kind of went from there.
Wow,
that's cool.
Fantastic. So what's your eventual plan as far as the sign business? Are you thinking that when you guys retire, you'll do it more, or just kind of?
I kind of like for it to evolve into that. Of course, with I work full time now. My biggest struggle has been marketing. Yep.
I'm wearing one.
Yeah, I guess we all are. Yeah.
But like I said, my biggest struggle is marketing. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, got a Facebook page for my sign carving. Most of mine has been like through word of mouth and coworkers.
Yeah.
A few, I posted on, some rabbit pages and stuff, and gotten a few from there. The show that we're going to next month, we're setting up as vendors down there, so I posted on there, and I picked up possibly a couple orders from that already.
Yeah.
So, but the orders come in kind of the way I like it right now, not a bunch at one time, and it kind of comes in spurts, 2 or 3 at a time. So, it gives me time to get them done in a timely fashion and not be overwhelmed at the same time.
He says you have an album with pictures of the signs that you've made, and I know at one time he used to have a color brochure, with just the color pictures of the signs all over it, and then all your information, and he would hand that out with a business card. Is that something?
Yeah, I've got business cards, but honestly, I haven't even thought about doing a brochure. that's a good idea.
I mean, it's just something that, you know, like when we go someplace or we go to do something, you know, you got paper in your hand and you're seeing a business card, you know, you put it in your purse or you put it in your wallet and then it's like, what is this? But if they have a brochure where they can actually look at it and say, wow, that sign's cool. My name would look good, but maybe this, that, or whatever change, and then all your information
Right.
there, they might take that and put it up on a board or a, you know, cork board or refrigerator or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I'll have to look into coming up with that.
Yeah, and you can make those yourself with a regular printer with these programs that they have.
Yeah,
I mean, you don't have. He paid hundreds of dollars to have them printed up.
Back in the old days, you had to
Yeah.
go to your local printer and take pictures,
Right.
get pictures taken, and all of that.
They had a little dot matrix printer.
and
They didn't do
it was super expensive.
Yeah.
Now everybody can do it right out of
Yeah.
their home office.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, which I design most of my signs on Microsoft Publisher, so you
Right.
know.
yep, you've got the availability to make.
And if you've got
whatever.
that Cricut, you know, that you can make your templates with that. Those are with that vinyl. Isn't that a vinyl print cutter? Vinyl
Yeah,
cutter?
it's
The
it,
Cricut?
could be
Yeah.
vinyl and-
That there's your, you know, template maker right there. Cut it out with
Yeah.
vinyl and
So,
Yep.
say for instance, your logo behind you.
I was wanting to find a rabbit with some sort of had to do with woodworking,
Yeah, yeah,
and I found one that wasn't the greatest. It was a kind of just an outline of a rabbit at a sawhorse with a saw,
yeah,
and then I came across this, and I really liked that because it had some color to it. So
yeah.
I just incorporated that into the.
Yeah, he's cool looking. I really like that logo.
I like the whole sign. Yeah.
Very cool.
Now, do you do
Thank you.
painting on your customers' signs also?
I do.
Okay. And do you enjoy that?
Yeah, it's one of my least favorite. I'm kind of like you. It's one of my least favorites, but it's one of those things that's challenging, and I like a challenge, and I can't stand not perfecting something. So
Yeah. And there's just something that color brings to it. If it's not, you know, if it's not really overdone, like, you know,
Right.
rabbit, you know, that rabbit would look good if it was all just wood color, but the fact that
It
you
really
added
pops,
color to it,
stands out.
it really jumps. So
right,
there's just, it's a,
Is that a piece of cedar?
it is. It's a piece of live edge cedar.
That's my favorite.
so is that something that you have out there a lot
Hold
of?
it up a little.
Oh my gosh.
Oh
That-
my gosh, that is so cute.
That is just cool. That's the coolest. I
Yeah.
love it. I love it. So do you have a
Yeah.
lot of cedar available to you?
No, it's real hard to find. I actually found several slabs at a local Amish sawmill.
Oh, there you
okay. Yeah.
go. Mhm.
So and I got I ended up getting. It was 4 or 6 slabs. They were about 14 foot long and about 13 foot wide, and I had them cut into 7-foot slabs so I could bring them home.
Yeah.
So I've got about 10 or 12 of the 7-foot slabs,
Wow.
and I save those for very special occasions because it's so hard to come by.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Well, I know there are some parts of the country that there's just a lot of sawmills that you can get that stuff fairly inexpensively. But
Right, I got those all those slabs I got for $60.
Wow, that one right there would have cost us $60 right just for that little slab.
for that little piece, yeah.
Yeah. Holy
Yeah.
Right.
That's
Wow.
there's not a whole lot of that out here. We've got lumber yards and exotic wood places that have, you know, different things, but it's pretty pricey.
Yeah, we've got a woodcraft store in Lexington.
Yeah. And you go buy wood there and it gets pretty expensive.
It does. I get the majority of mine at Lowe's. I use the Select Pine. I've done that one that I sent you for sign cards the other day, the farm sign that had the sunflowers and the rabbit on it.
Oh, yeah.
I remember that. Yeah.
That I did out of with that laminated panels from Lowe's.
Okay, the panel board. Yeah. And was that for a customer?
It was customer/friend, one of our rabbit show friends, camping buddies.
There you go. So we're going to wrap this thing up, buddy. So if you had to give some advice to somebody that's brand new, a brand new sign carver, any words of wisdom from an old wily sign carving veteran like yourself?
Well, I would definitely direct them towards you all for, for your videos and education. That would be the number one thing. Don't go for these knockoff bits on Amazon. Been there, done that. Not good. And just
Appreciate that.
take your time. Start off with the best equipment that you can afford at the time, and just gradually work up from there.
Yeah, yeah,
Good
yeah.
advice.
How about from a marketing side? I know you say you kind of struggle with that, but if you had to give some advice to somebody that wants to get their work seen a little bit or whatever, do you have anything that you would suggest there?
I do. Donations. The last 2 years, I've donated to a ministry auction that uses the proceeds to buy shoes for children overseas.
Oh, wow, cool.
So I've donated a rabbit barn sign. It's Rabbit Seeds Ministries. So I donated a rabbit barn sign the last 2 years to that. I've, done free signs for different people, different places. I'm going to be doing one for a local dentist. I'm going to actually use a piece of live edge cedar because the cedar is in the name of the dentist office. So
I'm
going to put that on a piece of live edge cedar for them, and just present that to them.
And then you're using that kind of like what I've done with the collaborations in order to get more foot traffic and more eyeballs on your work. Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, I have. And where we bought our camper, it's a small local dealer, and we've got to know them pretty well. And he actually had me make them a sign when we were at a show last year. And then I made another. He wanted me to do something where he could help kind of advertise for me.
Yeah.
So I did a sign of their logo, and then below it had a fifth wheel camper template, and put custom carved signs with my number on it to hang below it.
There you go.
Very cool. Good. Yeah, it's all those kinds of things that kind of add up. Not just thinking of one specific thing, but it's all those little things that kind of add up. They kind of get the word out there, and the more you're doing that, good things will happen. That's great.
And I, for whatever reason, I don't know, there doesn't seem to be as big a demand for that, this type of thing in this area. Like I said, I can't put my finger on the reason.
Yeah.
But I see other ones in the groups. Joanne down in Florida. She gets, frequent orders and stuff. It just seems like more geographical area has a lot to do with it as well, I think.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it just means that I think that that signs will sell just about anywhere, but you've got to find those niches, and you've got to, get enough people, enough eyeballs on what you're doing. So, it's one of those deals where you just got to keep swinging. You just got to keep at it.
Right. I had an old headboard laying around the garage. I thought about throwing it away. No, I'm going to hang on to it. Wife was saying, you need to get rid of that. I said, I'm thinking about maybe trying to make a sign out of it. So I ended up making a sign for myself out of the old headboard for advertisement, and it's in the front yard right at the road.
There you go.
Yeah. And the local authorities don't have any problem with that, like the local town business people.
We're out in the county, so there's really no ordinances or anything that pertains to to that. So no homeowners association, no zoning issues or anything like that for that type of thing.
Well, it's those little things too that will that people have seen and never done anything about, but maybe they've driven by a dozen times, and then when Christmas comes around, or they got a wedding coming up, or an anniversary or whatever, that's when those kinds of things will kind of, they'll be in those people's minds, and they'll come back to you.
Right, and we put up a new mailbox, and instead of going and getting stick-on numbers and letters, I made a carved sign for each side of the mailbox with our number and name on it.
Yep, yeah, it's all that stuff that just kind of adds up. So, and things kind of, I always look at things that they work out like they're supposed to, and the
Oh
problem,
yeah,
there's a reason that you're not busier, because maybe if you were busier right now, it wouldn't work out well. Like you say, they come in,
hmm
Just as you like them, yeah.
yeah, you don't want to be too busy if you're still working full time and all the other things
exactly,
you got
You
going
don't want
on.
it to be something you have to do. You still want to enjoy it.
Yeah,
exactly,
we were talking,
exactly. And I made a sign for our camper, with our name and stuff on it that I hang out in front of the camper, and I've had several people say, "Hey, where'd you get that sign at?"
Yeah.
I made it. Oh wow, I'll hand them a card.
Hand them a brochure.
yeah,
Yep, yep. I've got to get on that.
we're talking with Frank Jenkins from down in Texas, and
Yeah, love Frank.
yeah, he's a great guy. And he says, he says, I'm retired now, and he says, I want to make enough money to pay for my camping, but I don't want to have so much that I can't go camping. I don't want to
Right,
I don't want to be so busy that I can't go camping, but I want to make
right.
to pay for my camping. So it's that fine line. So you know,
It is. It is.
that's a cool thing. You can always say no, I don't have time, but
He does it all the time.
yeah, I
Yeah.
just, for
Like
me.
last year,
Oh, go ahead.
advertising within the rabbit community, I ended up picking up an order from a rabbit show in New York. They ordered 12 awards from me out in New York.
Yeah.
So, I did some awards for a show down in Tennessee last year. They were going to have me do the awards again this year, and the show got canceled.
Right.
But, they know about me, and they're actually, the guy that they were using had fell ill, and not able to do awards anymore. So I think I'm, maybe picking up, that yearly order.
Yeah, yeah. We used to do that when we did horse shows. We would go out, and there were several of the quarter horse shows in Northern California that we would go out to. And again, we carved on site. We took our trailer and we were carving there on site. But we had a contract that all of the first prize awards were one of our signs. So we had like 20 or 30, 40 built-in orders. By the time we went out there, we knew we had 30 or 40 signs to do anyway. That were the first place awards. That is really a good gig. That is really a cool deal.
Yeah, I had another friend of ours that rides a lot of horses and stuff, and she's got 4 horses, and she ordered 4 stall signs from me.
Yep. Yeah, that's an industry. That's a deal only completely within itself. That's a big deal.
And Kentucky, Lexington is like the horse capital of the world.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to some of these horse farms, contacting them and maybe doing something that way as well. I did a sign for a KOA campground. They wanted their store sign redone. They had bought one down in Tennessee, wasn't happy with the way it turned out, and I redid it. And then they wanted one that said office and store. That's what they originally ordered from me. And they had mentioned that they didn't like how the big sign turned out with their name and everything. So I did that one as a freebie for them, along with the one that they ordered.
Yeah.
So they have a matching set for their office.
Right.
That's a great way to go. That's terrific. All right, brother. Well, we're gonna let you move on with your evening. We'll get out of here, and we don't want
Next time I want to meet your wife.
Okay. Will do.
I'd like to meet the wife.
Yep, I understand that.
You can bring the kids in too.
Bring the kids
Yeah.
and the bunnies.
Yeah, bring the whole gang. All right, buddy. Well, thank you so much, man. I know that everybody kind of gets a kick out of meeting other
Putting
people.
faces to
Yeah.
the names.
Yeah.
It is. It's fun. It is fun.
On the lives and the
Yeah. So, all right, brother. Well, thanks again so much. We so appreciate you. And, we're here. Anything we can do, anything that I can help with, you know I'm here.
I greatly appreciate it. Appreciate the opportunity and appreciate everything that you all do as well.
Thank you, my friend. All right, buddy.
You take
All
care.
right.
Stay
Have-
safe.
You too.
Stay healthy.
Have a great night, buddy.
You all do the same.
Okay,
Bye.
bye.
Bye bye.